Guess who's on for the government today? Mel Stride, Work and Pensions Secretary. You're on more often than I am. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm at Silverstone, so I'm at the starting grid, all revved up and ready to go. Good morning.
Well, you're going to launch your manifesto later on. What are you offering that's going to change anything?
Yeah. So there's a very clear choice, I think, Kay, this week. You're going to see two very different manifestos. Ours that we're launching today, at its heart, is going to be cutting people's tax and making sure that they have a secure financial future. With Labour later on, I think you're going to see questions around tax rises, particularly because of this £38.5 billion spending black hole that they have in the offer that they're putting forward.
Now, they've already told you many times that that is not the case. It's a barefaced lie, they say.
Well, no, not at all. I don't know if you saw the Prime Minister on Panorama's interview last night. He set out very clearly where those figures come from. There are 27 different spending commitments. 21 of them have been costed by the Treasury. 2 of them actually are Labour's own figures, including the largest figure of all, this so-called green prosperity plan that they have, which is costed at 23 billion. There's no getting away from the fact that there is this £38.5 billion black hole. Now, what that's going to mean is more tax. So already Labour have said that they will not follow our triple lock plus, which will keep pensioners out of income tax. So you're going to see millions of pensioners being dragged into income tax under any future Labour government. There's a piece on the front page of the FT this morning, actually, speculating about increases in capital gains tax and the very detrimental impact that will have on investment in our country and the ability for our country to grow, which is what Labour talk a good story on, but the reality is their tax policies, I'm afraid, are just not going to work in that respect. Yeah. So there is a very clear dividing line between us.
So a 2p cut in national insurance contributions. What else?
So, well, you're going to have to wait to see the full manifesto
I thought I had
a little
you
bit
then.
later, but we... sorry, say again?
I said I thought I had you then. I thought you were going to say that it was in the manifesto.
You know, if I did that for anybody, it would be for you, but I'm afraid I'm not going to divulge all the details of the manifesto before it's officially announced. But look, this is going to be a really exciting moment. We are the party. If you think about this election campaign, OK, so you've got Labour, who don't want to say anything. They want to keep a small profile. They want to carry that Ming vase across the polished floor. They want to hold on to that lead and drift across the line. We are the party that is out there with the bold, clear plan for our country. And that's why we've already come forward with measures to protect our pensioners from tax, whereas Labour are going to tax them. It's why we've come forward with measures for first-time house buyers, for example, property buyers, to make sure that we support them getting into the property market. It's why we've announced 100,000 additional apprenticeships, and there's going to be a lot more, particularly around lower taxes in the manifesto that we're going to be announcing later this morning.
OK, however, whatever you're announcing, Bloomberg Business has been reporting a survey of traders, portfolio managers, economists, retail investors that says the best election outcome for the pound would be a Labour win.
Well, I very much dispute that because I think what would definitely happen if Labour win this general election, and we've still got plenty of time till the general election actually occurs. If they win, I think it's going to be very, very bad for the economy. It's going to be very difficult for a lot of people in terms of their personal finances because taxes are going to go up. And you mentioned the pound. Well, the pound really tracks the confidence that there is in the UK economy. And as I say, on the front page of the Financial Times this morning, there's a lot of disquiet being voiced across business about potential capital gains tax increases. Now, the implication of that is it's a tax on investments, it's a tax on gains made on shares and investments, on property, and so on. And this is going to have a very, very negative impact on the UK economy if Labour get into power. So I really don't accept that it's going to be good for the pound.
OK, so traders, portfolio managers, economists, retail investors don't know what they're talking about.
Well, as I say, I disagree entirely with that, and I would say, you know, read the front page of the Financial Times this morning, and what a number of leading business people and people that know about investment in the UK economy have to say about what I'm afraid we strongly suspect with Labour. They haven't ruled out increases to capital gains tax. They haven't ruled out increases to tax for millions of pensioners, and millions of pensioners paying tax on their state pension for the first time ever. They have not ruled that out. And I think we've got to brace ourselves for those things if we are going to have a Labour victory at the polls. But look, there's time to go. We are putting out a very bold, clear plan that is going to help people in their daily lives. Look at what we've already done. 29 million people benefiting from 1/3 reduction in national insurance.
Okay.
That's worth £900 to an average earner. These are things that really matter in people's lives.
9 million people not in work and not looking for work. What are you going to do about that?
So we are doing all sorts of different important welfare reforms to encourage more people into work. We have lower levels of economic inactivity at the moment than the average across the EU, the G7 and the OECD. We have a lower level of economic inactivity, which is what you're describing, than every single year under the last Labour government. So we have a good, strong track record of getting people into work. Look at unemployment at the moment. It's almost half what it was under the last Labour government. Every single Labour government in history has seen unemployment higher at the end of their term of office than it was at the start. We are a job-creating machine in this country. 800 new jobs created under this government every single day of the week. The Labour Party couldn't be more. We talk about young people.
We have to get people
Youth
to accept
unemployment
those
under
jobs,
Labour
and they're
went up
not.
over 40%. Under this government, it's come down.
But they're not
over
accepting
40%.
the jobs, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Stride.
So,
and there's a massive ballooning in the number of long-term sick since the pandemic. How are you going to get people back into work? The jobs might be there, but you have to get them to accept
on the
job.
long-term sickness and long-term sickness and disability front, you are right. Those numbers have expanded, and we have done a huge amount to start to seriously address that. One of the things that I've done is to make reforms to what's called the work capability assessment, which is the gateway onto those benefits. And the Office of Budget Responsibility, not me, but the OBR, has confirmed that that will mean 424,000 fewer people on those benefits as a direct consequence of the reforms that I'm bringing in. That's almost 500,000 people. We are really moving the dial here. But I come back to the fundamental point. Just look at the history. Labour destroy jobs, we create them, and all the evidence is there to show that.
OK, let me talk to you about a story that's on, you're talking about the front pages, on many of the front pages today. How can a 12-year-old boy buy a machete and with his 12-year-old mate bludgeon a young man to death in 21st century Conservative-led Britain? How can that happen?
It's just a terrible, terrible tragedy, and my heart goes out, obviously, to that young person's family and their friends. Just an awful, awful situation. The answer to your question is we have to get tougher on knife crime in a couple of ways, actually. One way is in terms of the policing of our streets and the powers that the police have to intervene where they have a suspicion that somebody may be carrying a knife. And we also have to stiffen up, and these are exactly the things we're doing, incidentally, the penalties around doing that kind of thing. One of the areas where, of course, we've seen knife crime rise the most has been in London, which is Sadiq Khan, who is responsible for policing that. But more generally across the police and more generally across crime, we are seeing substantial reductions. And in fact, across crime more generally, we've seen an over 50% reduction in crime, if you exclude computer-based crime and fraud, since 2010. And this is another reason why you'll be hearing something in the manifesto about policing, and it's why that we have completed our previous commitment to recruiting 20,000 more officers who can be out on the beat and making sure that we drive crime down still further than we have already.
Rishi Sunak has finally spoken to the media again, saying that he didn't consider resigning as Prime Minister after his gaffe, let's call it, on the Normandy beaches. Should he have considered his position?
Well, I think he did exactly what he should do, which was he very quickly recognised that he had made a mistake. He apologised unequivocally and very publicly for that mistake. But look, Rishi Sunak is somebody I know reasonably well. He will have felt this very deeply personally because he is a deeply patriotic person. And now he did, and that's why obviously he did attend the events in Portsmouth. He met veterans, many veterans actually in Normandy at all the British
You mustn't try and
events.
defend
But he
it, Mr.
recognises
Stride.
that he made a mistake. Sorry?
You mustn't try and defend what he did.
No, I'm not saying he didn't make a mistake. I'm accepting that entirely. Indeed, the Prime Minister is. And I think what he's now saying is that he hopes that people have it in their heart to forgive him. So I don't think anybody's saying that what happened was anything other than a mistake, and that mistake has been accepted and a full apology has been provided. But I'm making a broader point. You know, like our commitment, for example, to defence, we're 2.5% by 2030 is very strong. Our commitment
We should
to
just leave it
veterans, having a minister
as
around the
him having
cabinet table,
apologised, and we should have to
are
try and
evidence
accept his
of his
apology.
commitment.
Yeah. Just before I let you go, have you had your haircut specially for the manifesto launch?
Have I had my hair cut especially for the manifesto? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a bit of noise here. No, I haven't actually. So I don't know what that is. Does it look like I've had a haircut?
Yeah, it does actually.
suit me,
That's why I was
suppose, is the
asking.
question. Does it? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, emboldened by that, I will sally forth to my next media engagements. But thank you for that.
Elegantly put. Good to see you. Thank you.